Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into this video, I would like to say, if you're new around here, I have two rules over at this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule, that's for you to verify whatever it is you learn, whether it's here on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. Verifying what you learn should be a rule of life. So getting into the video, this video is going to be about a credit card secret that I learned and it enhanced my life. And the ironic thing is I learned this recently. It's not something that I learned back in 2015 when I first started my credit card journey and my credit score journey. This is actually something that came about recently. And I really reached a point where I'm like, hey, I have over an 800 credit score. I have the credit cards that I want. What else is it to pass along to people? And something sparked me in the interview that I just did with Key from Kiki's Adventures. And if you haven't checked out that interview with Key from Kiki Adventures, I'm telling you, you need to check it out. I'm going to leave the link below in the bio, or you could just go to my live section of this Water Your Soil channel and check it out. But you need to watch that video. It was a great interview and a great feature with Key from Kiki Adventures because Key has over 50 credit cards. And at one point, she said she had around 80 credit cards. Now, to some of you, you're probably like, wow, that's a lot. I can never get to 80. But there are people out there who aspire to get approved for as many credit cards as they can, and she's a great example of someone that has really been doing a great job with getting approved for these credit cards. And in that live stream that I did with her, she mentioned one important thing, and it was amazing to hear. Key stated that she only carries one credit card in her wallet. Do you know how amazing that is? For someone with 50 cards, that's very tempting. 50 cards, but you only keep one on you. That's amazing. And I was telling her, I go and I pick my cards that I carry with me based on my needs and my necessities and what I'm going to have to do, whether I'm going to the grocery store or I'm going shopping or I have to make business expenses or whatever it may be. That's how I go and pick out my specific credit card. So that was good to hear because that's not something that I assumed. I assumed that someone with 50 credit cards will at least carry a wallet full of credit cards. But for her to only have one credit card per outing is amazing. So salute to Key. As I stated, it was a great interview and a great live stream. You all need to go and watch the playback, show love. Also, be sure to follow Kiki Adventures and subscribe to her channel because she has a lot of great information over there. So be sure to check that out. But to get further into the video, when I first started learning about credit cards back in 2015, I was looking for as much information as possible. Now, my goals for credit cards changed over time. Back then, I was looking at secured credit cards because I was trying to find out a way to increase my credit score, and secured credit cards were the best option to do so back then. So I was trying to find the secured credit card that works for me. I ended up coming across an article on Google, and it was in relation to the Discover It Secured card. And that's when the Discover It Secured card first came about. I think it was only around for a couple of months to a year. And I read the information. I ended up going to apply for a Discover card because back then you had to apply, get denied, and then they send you an invite to apply for the Discover Secured card. Of course, these days it's totally different now. You just go directly into applying for the Discover Secured card and you find out if you're approved right then and there. But it was a different process back then. So my strategy and my outlook was totally different than what it was, let's say, 2018. 2018, I was in the market for a premium card. So that's when I signed up for my Amex Gold card. Then from the Gold card, I went to the Platinum card. So I always had a different goal in mind. But one thing that I've learned recently is that these credit cards are pretty much whatever you want them to be. And I'll explain what I'm referring to. So let's say you're someone, you don't do a lot of traveling, right? You'll probably come on YouTube and you will see a lot of videos on travel cards. You hear people talking about the Chase Sapphire cards or the American Express Platinum or the Capital One Venture X or whatever travel card it may be. You'll get on here and you'll hear people talking about them and they'll post about them, and that excites you because you're like, hey, that car has some cool rewards and it has a cool intro bonus, it may spark up interest in you. Now remember, you're not someone who travels often, but you get on here and you see people hyping up travel cars, so it draws your interest and it makes you consider like, should I go and apply? And you really get that itch, like I talked about in my previous video. You start wondering like, hey, should I apply just to have an intro bonus? And what I want you all to know, the biggest secret about these credit cards is you could find a card, one specific card or a group of cards, whether it's a trifecta or whatever it may be, to work out for you. They don't have to be the same cards that are talked about, whether it's on these points blogs or it's on YouTube channels or it's on Reddit, wherever it may be talked about. Your cards that you have don't have to be the popular cars and the cars that's hyped up in order to get intro bonuses and things like that. I know a lot of times people get on here and they hype up certain cars. You don't know if those people are getting paid by those companies or not. I don't know either. Let's be honest. So it always pays to mind yours. And like I say in the beginning of these videos, use your own discretion, because using your own discretion with these credit cards can land you in a great place. Let's say you find a card that's not very popular, but you personally, based on your lifestyle and what you do for a living, you get the most out of that card. In my opinion, I would say, hey, go with that card. Keep it active, keep it open, use it because it works for you. If it's one card, if it's 2, 3, 4, 5 or more, whatever it is, find what works for you. I think there is too much of people attempting to follow what works for other people. And without you finding what works for you, you can land yourself in trouble. I have a couple of cards right now that I got years ago strictly because of the hype. And while I get things out of those cards and I do get benefits from those cards, I probably could have done without them. And right now I probably could do without them. Now, I'm not the type that believes in closing out credit cards. I believe in keeping them open and active for future purposes. And a lot of that has to do with because I'm so big on credit scores. So I like to keep them open for credit age purposes for the future. But there are a couple of cars where I look back on, I'd be like, back when these cars were really getting hyped, like Amex Platinum and a couple of other cars, I bought into the hype. I was excited. The marketing was off the chain. I was excited. I was hyped. And I went and I hit that apply button and I hit that submit button, and you know what happens after that. So as I stated, the secret is to go with what you want. Find out what you want and go with it. No matter what's hyped, it doesn't have to be something that's hyped. I'm telling you, when you find out what works for you and which cards can get the most for you, then you'll be in a great place because your management of those cards is going to be good. When you have cards that you really can't manage, let's say you have high annual fee cards, or you have cards where they really don't fit your lifestyle, but you have them because they're popular. Like you're someone who never travels, but you have an Amex Platinum card. Like maybe you get benefits from it, but remember, you're someone who never travels, so you're not getting the maximum benefits from the Amex Platinum card if you're someone who never travels. So my advice is always going to be to find what works for you and just go with it. Don't worry about these YouTube videos. Don't worry about Reddit. Don't worry about these commercials, because now credit cards are all over commercials. We're talking about the premium cards. We're not just talking about no annual fee credit cards. We're talking about the premium cards. And they're also showing the airport lounges and first class on airplanes and things like that. It's all to get you excited and all to make you say, I can go and I can get approved for that. Should I go and hit that submit button on that application? Find what works for you, whether it's one card, 2, or 5 or more, whatever it is. Find what works for you and don't feel guilty about what works for you. No matter if the card is popular or not. Go with what works for you. And that's my advice for you all. Hey, this Sunday, I'll be interviewing Chad's Money Minutes, and I've been looking forward to this for a while. So I want you all to come by 7 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. I'll be with Chad's Money Minutes. You don't want to miss that one. It's going to be an unfiltered interview, so you want to check it out. But I just wanted to share this with you all. If you're new around here and you feeling the vibe, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video. because I post often. That's clicking on that bell and selecting all. A couple of people have been coming by leaving comments saying that they're not receiving notifications of my videos. Well, the easy way to solve that is to click on the bell that you see below. Click on it, select all. That way you'll receive all notifications from me. Also, this goes to every single one of you watching, including my subscribers. Hit the like button. That's your way of supporting this video. It lets the algorithm know that you support this video and this channel. I appreciate every single one of you for taking out the time to watch this video, support this channel. Be sure to check out that previous live that I did with Key. This is Water Your Soil, and I'm out. Hey, what's going on? This is Nell from Water Your Soil. So as someone who went from a 549 credit score all the way up to the 800s, I decided to share the same information that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. This book is titled Strategies to Master Credit. I put everything in this book, everything that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. All of the information is in this book. So I want you all to purchase this book. A lot of you have already purchased it, but it's available currently right now on Amazon.com and also MasterCreditBook.com. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. You want this book. It has all the information needed in order for you to go from poor credit to excellent credit, or just simply maintain your good or excellent credit score. So get the book ASAP. And if you want something more in depth, you could take the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. It's more in depth. There are actually chapters in this course, and it walks you through basically how FICO credit scores come about and how they're determined. And really, once you learn how FICO scores come about and the concept of credit scores, then you're pretty much on your way to either going from poor credit to good credit, or just maintaining a good or excellent credit score. So if you want something more in depth, I have the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. All right.